Hello! I just got back from my 12th Camino, walking from Madrid to Sahagún on the Meseta. It was 350 kilometers and it took about 2 weeks. And I did the whole thing in this 7 to 10 liter Lumbar pack. So I'm gonna unpack everything that I brought on this latest Camino to show you what ultralight packing for the Camino means to me, what I bring, how my packing list has sort of changed over the years, and how you can pack a little bit lighter, whether that means you go full-blown lumbar pack or you just go with a smaller backpack, because I think I've gotten it down to an incredibly reasonable amount of stuff. I'm close to achieving my final form. And it actually includes a lot of filming gear because we make videos of us on the Camino. So let's dive into what I packed for the latest Camino in my lumbar pack. I'm Shawn, and this is Days We Spend. This is the star of the show. This is the Sierra Designs 7 to 10 liter adjustable lumbar pack. I'm just gonna call it the lumbar pack because that's a mouthful. I've taken this on, I wanna say like 5 Caminos now, this exact bag. I haven't upgraded, I haven't changed. It's still doing very, very well. The overall layout for this bag is incredibly simple, which is why I like it. It's just one main compartment, one top compartment, and some outdoor straps, 2 flexible water pouches for water bottles, a flexible zippered pocket on the waist belt, an open sort of stuff pocket on the waist belt, and I've added a little dog treat training pouch. I call it my cookie pouch. I use this for snacks and whatnot. It fits really well on there. I think of it as part of the bag, so I'm including it in this. I've made videos like this before, and I've gotten a lot of questions from you. First of all, what's wrong with you? Why don't you have a backpack? Are you trying to die? No, I don't love wearing a backpack and I don't really need that much stuff, as you'll see. It really only works because I've added my own kind of Frankenstein bungee strap system to the top. So I went to a craft store and I bought this little sort of slide toggle lock. I bought 6 feet of pretty thin, like shoelace size bungee. And then I just kind of wove it around the grab handle here and made sure that it went through some of the attachment points. Because this thing does have buckles, which I do use to secure like wet laundry and stuff, but I am allowed to expand my bag with stuff on top, which is a really big deal because some things are lightweight, but they're bulky. And I have like a jacket or like a loaf of bread for snacks. You can just slide that right on top without messing up your packing list, which is really, really key. So if you go with a lumbar pack, get yourself a bungee strap, experiment with how you can attach things on there. And I think you'll be really impressed with how it goes because I've managed to fit a shocking amount of stuff on top of my bag without changing how the bag feels on my waist. And it's really nice. Everything in this video does fit in the lumbar pack. And that includes some of our filming gear, which is like a tripod, a drone controller, microphones, accessories, memory cards, extra propeller blades. There's a lot of stuff we have that has nothing to do with walking the Camino, and it all fits in my lumbar pack. However, I found it a little cumbersome to get the drone in and out of the bag in like a quick manner. When you're filming videos, every time you get something out of your bag, you don't want it to take forever. So I've added a piece of gear and I really like it. I've added what's called a drop leg bag. This one's from Rock Bros. This is a 1 liter capacity drop leg bag. If you're unfamiliar, a drop leg bag is typically used by motorcyclists to have something reachable where they can keep like phone, documents, things like that they can actually grab and go without worrying about them falling out of their pockets. Okay, so what's the point of this bag? I would carry the drone in this bag as well as like a cleaning cloth, extra like little bits and bobs for the drone, charging cables, stuff like that. This is the drone that we use. This is the DJI Mavic 2. I don't have like a special case for it. This is the little cardboard box that it shipped in. And I was like, it's literally perfect for it. Why would I ever change that? So I keep the drone in here. If you look inside, there's even a little pouch where you can keep organized stuff. And I also put our microphones. We use the Hollyland Mark M1 or Mark II, something like that. Dead cat, windscreens, extra magnets, all these things, so that when we want to make a video, I don't have to go digging through my lumbar pack to get our filming gear. Boom. I actually was really worried about this. I thought this was going to be like clanging into my hiking poles, or it was going to feel really off balance, or it was going to just be flopping around. But it's got an extra clip on the inside that you actually affix around your thigh wherever you wear it. And it was slung just below my waist, so it didn't interfere with my waist belt on the lumbar pack at all. After about a day or 2 of walking, I got it really perfectly dialed in and I kind of forgot that it was there. This is a great addition if you're like me and you don't want to have like a huge backpack or even a fanny pack in front, but you want something that like, maybe you can keep snacks in here. I also kept my pilgrim passport in here. I might even upgrade this in the future with like a slightly bigger drop leg bag because it's not quite big enough to fit our drone controller and the drone. I can fit either or. So I would put whichever one I didn't have, usually the drone controller, will go in the pocket of my shorts, which I'll show you later. There's a lot of extra gear that most people don't have, and I was still able to do the Camino in a lumbar pack. Lumbar pack, drop leg bag, buen Camino. Honestly, if the idea of fitting everything in a lumbar bag is freaking you out, I get it. I just recommend the drop leg bag as an addition to a lot of other packing lists. Like, it's really nice to have something right there. You can just put snacks and stuff in it. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, and I love it. So there you go. So let's get to the most important part of any packing list for the Camino, the clothing. You might be like, Shawn, what shirt are you wearing? Why are you so fancy? Thanks, I am fancy. Lainey's laughing super hard.
You're so fancy.
This is actually my hiking shirt, believe it or not. If you've seen any of my other packing lists, you know that I'm a huge fan of the Columbia hiking shirt because it's got this great vent at the back, and I'm still a massive fan. But we saw these shirts, we wanted to test them out, and Jolly, who owns the company, sent us a pair to test, and I freaking love this shirt. The pattern is very me, which is like totally helps. But what's crazy about it is that like I'm wearing a hiking shirt right now. This is performance gear. I wore this every day on the trail for 2 full weeks and it's fine. It also has tons of features. I would keep my sunglasses in this chest pocket, which is zips, which is great. It's got thumb holes, which on the Camino, as you know, you get that cool hiker tan line, especially if you're someone who has hiking poles like me. Your hands just get blasted by the sun. You forget to put sunscreen on them. This helped keep my hands like oddly really well protected, except for like this part of my thumb. It was also good for windy days. Like I had just like little mini gloves on, which was really nice. The best part of this shirt, you won't even be able to guess. I haven't even shown you yet. It's got a sun hood inside. So if you want to look fancy, you can tuck this away and you got a nice collared shirt. Got really, really smart ties to sort of fasten it without having like strings dangling everywhere, which I like. I could even actually fit this, I'll show you. I could even fit the hood over the brim of my hat, which is so nice on sunny days or even windy or cold days. And I was creating kind of a cool like hiking bonnet, for lack of a better term, which kept my nose, my face, my neck, everything was really well protected. And it's really cinched nicely, so it like didn't blow off, even in like brutal headwinds, which we got a lot of on this last Camino. I love this shirt. It overperformed my expectations. One thing this shirt doesn't have that my other shirt does have, this shirt doesn't have any vents. Hiking with a lumbar pack, having a vent is really nice because you don't have a backpack like clamped to your back. But if you're a backpack hiker and a vent's not a big deal, this shirt's incredible. I can't recommend it more. You want your shirt to be a little bit blousy, especially with the sun hood. Thank you to Jolly for sending this over. I'm a massive fan, and I'll probably be hiking the shirt for a couple years. My hiking pants are actually hiking shorts. I really don't like hiking in pants, just not my vibe. I like the freedom of movement that these shorts provide, and these are just really cheap, regular kind of elastic pants from Decathlon. They're like the Quechua brand. That's like the like bargain basement brand. I like them so much. I got 2 pair. They have worn really, really well. I put these things through hell. They've got a little cargo pocket here on the right leg. This is big enough to carry the drone controller that I showed you earlier. You can also just put like a shocking amount of food in here if you're not flying a drone. The pockets are great. Nothing falls out when I sit down. I wish it had a back pocket, like a butt pocket or a zipper pocket for my wallet, but other than that, no complaints. I think they're actually available in the US as well. I very much recommend them. I also wore a buff or a boof. It's actually Spanish for bufanda, which is the Spanish word for scarf. This is a merino wool. Like this guy's been around for 8 Caminos, 10 Caminos, keeps on ticking. Really important for cold mornings, windy days. Love a buff. This is my trail hat. This is the Tillac Wallowa trail hat. I like the mesh. I like how lightweight it is. I dunk this thing in the water when it's hot. Keeps me safe from the sun. Big fan. Get a hat. Don't hike the Camino without a hat. You're crazy. These are my favorite sunglasses for hiking the Camino. These are Valen Alpine glasses because they've got this very cool kind of leather side texture, which blocks out, you know, the sun when it's on the side, which is a lot of the Camino. They also look radical. I think I look like a steampunk wilderness man. I really like them. I'm a big fan of Valen. I've tried their biking sunglasses, but these are my favorite. The biking ones are very good. Huge fan. And they fit right here in my shirt. I always had them with me, which is really great. I always wear 2 pairs of socks. One is a sock liner and the other is darn tough merino wool hiking socks. These are the thickest ones they have since we were hiking this most recent Camino in October. Can't recommend these enough. I've been hiking with Darn Tough for years. Get yourself a pair of merino wool socks. They're odor resistant. and they're darn tough. This is my second pair. I've had these for a lot longer. They are finally starting to show some wear and tear, but thanks to the warranty system, the lifetime guarantee, I reached out to them and they're like, yeah, man, thanks for being a customer. Cut these up, send us a picture of them, and we'll send you a new pair of socks, which I'm gonna do after this video. And these are REI silk sock liners. Silk is the way to go. They weigh nothing, but they prevent blisters. Wear one, and I have an alternate pair in my bag, so I swap them and wash them. They dry really quickly, really easily. They're a great thing to pack. I always wear merino wool underwear. I wear unbound merino wool boxer briefs. These are my trail underwear. I wear one pair. That's all I bring. I wear these every day. I wash them, hang them out to dry. It's merino, so they dry really quickly. They're soft, they're warm, they're great. The other pair for when I get to town is a super lightweight pair of Uniqlo Airism underwear. Basically, I just have these because they're the lightest underwear I can find and they fold down to nothing. 2 pair of underwear is all I need. You could throw a third pair in there without really impacting things if you want to have a third pair, but you definitely don't have to. Last thing for my clothing is layers. So we hiked this long Camino in September, October. Even if you go in the summer, sometimes there's altitude. You need warmth. You need a few layers. So what I've opted for is a smart wool fleece. I like it because it has a little bit of water resistance in the shoulders, and it has a nice kangaroo pouch in the front with zippers. It's smaller in volume than a lot of polyester fleece, which might be lighter, but they take up so much room in the lumbar pack. They're not a great choice for me. Love this guy. My top layer is this janky poncho that I got at a thrift store here in Spain for like €8. It is extra, extra large, which I thought would be a problem, but it's actually just big enough to get over my lumbar pack when I'm wearing it. It also has a hood and a cool front pouch. It's not perfectly waterproof or even close. I get wet underneath it if it's really dumping. I'd like to upgrade this. If you guys have a lightweight poncho recommendation, please put that in the comments. So that's what I wear on my body, but the most important part of your Camino gear is your shoes. These are the Lone Peak 8s. Are they 7s? These are the Ultra Lone Peak 7s. I've hiked a lot in these. We walked the Camino de Madrid, Camino Valdiense, Camino San Salvador, and the Camino Madrid in these shoes. I also wore them as my daily shoe here in the city in Spain. These have logged way over 1,000 kilometers. They're showing some wear and tear for sure, but there's still a lot of padding. If you're undecided about what hiking shoes you should get for the Camino and you like a trail runner, I can't recommend these enough. They've got a super nice wide toe box, which is a great way to prevent blisters. They're very comfortable. They last a long time. I've kicked crap out of these and they're still going. They are not waterproof. You will get wet if it starts dumping, but they dry quickly. If you try to stay dry and it doesn't work, waterproof gear takes forever to dry out. Whereas if you just commit to it and you're like, I'm getting wet today, you can wring your socks out. You can swap your socks for the dry pair that you have in your bag and you can let your shoes air out and you'll be fine. I love these shoes. I wear them all the time. I'm never changing them. The other pair of shoes I have is pretty controversial. Let me unwrap these. I was trying to take weight out of my bag and I was like, what's the best way to do that? And I have some lightweight sandals, but they still kind of heavy compared to everything I have. So I was like, I can make sandals, right? Turns out that yes, but they're not great. This is made out of coroplast. The coroplast, if you're unfamiliar, it's like what those yard signs are made out of, like for sale signs. It's a really hard, lightweight plastic. I basically took my existing sandals, traced them around the coroplast, cut them out really poorly, and then I watched like 5 minutes of a video of how to do a huarache style shoe. I just took the shoelaces off my other shoes, punched some holes in it, did some knots, and for some stupid reason, they've held together really well. I've taken these sandals on 4 Caminos now, which is actually pretty impressive. Would you want to walk around town all day in these? No, probably not. I mostly use them for showering so that like I don't get gross feet, but I wear these to like go to dinner sometimes, but that's it. If we're gonna go tour a city, like when we get into town, I just wear my hiking shoes because they're really comfortable. But they weigh, I'm gonna weigh them for you guys right now so we know what we're talking about here. So both of these shoes together, I have a scale off camera. I'm not just making up numbers. Combined, they weigh 42 grams. These are other sandals that I've tried in the past. These are just like regular sports shower sandals that you can find in any sporting goods store for like $6. They're really lightweight, but they're huge and they weigh 200 grams. And I consider them lightweight. They weigh 5 times as much as my terrible coroplast sandals. And do you see a difference? I do. These sandals are so small actually that I put them inside of my lumbar pack at the bottom of my bag. I wrap them in a shower cap so they don't get anything else like dirty, but like they work great. The other option is these 4Clay sandals from Decathlon. Very thin, but when you put them on the scale, 373 grams. So they're almost 10 times as heavy. And in a lumbar pack, every ounce counts, especially if you can take volume and weight out of your bag. Do I recommend making your own sandals? Probably not, but I would say like, if you're gonna be a lumbar packer, an ultralight packer, think critically about what sandals you bring because you do need something for the shower and it's nice to have something to walk around town, but you don't wanna add a ton of weight to your bag. The way that ultralight packing works for the Camino is that you have your trail clothing, which is what I just showed you, but then you have your city clothes. And these are usually things that you never hike in so that they don't need to be washed very often. You can just kind of put them on when you go to dinner, when you get to the albergue. These are things that are not gonna get grody or sweaty from being on the trail. This is a new addition. This is the Rab Sonic Ultra Tee. This is one of the lightest shirts I've ever seen. It also folds down really small. There's not a lot of volume. Boom. I really enjoyed it. It's incredibly lightweight, very comfortable. I do have one pair of pants for the Camino. These are the Patagonia Terrebonne joggers. They're very, very, very lightweight. You don't need a belt. They've got a waist strap. They've got a little back pocket, front pockets. These are my city pants. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't love them that much anymore. I'd rather have like another pair of shorts. So it is nice to have a pair of pants when it's chilly, but I only pack these because they're so light. I don't really wear them very often. I don't love the pockets. I found myself just wearing my shorts all the time, and these were kind of my backups in case when I needed to wash my shorts. If you're someone who hikes in pants, put all of your investment into the trail pants, and then you can just get a pair of shorts for like walking around the albergue. These are just so I have in case it's like freezing cold and I can hike in pants. But I almost never do that. If you guys have a recommendation for a better pair of like city pants that I should be taking on these Caminos, they have to be lightweight and they have to have good pockets. I would love to hear about it in the comments. Please let me know because these are fine, but I'm not in love with them. Other things in my bag are, this is my sleeping bag. It's just a silk sleep liner. This weighs 100 grams, so it weighs as much as 2 pairs of Coroplast sandals, which is nothing. If you're gonna do the lumbar pack, you can fit a very small sleeping bag, but if you're going in the summer, my recommendation is you really just don't need it. You will need an eye mask when you go to sleep. This is one from a flight, but it's like soft and padded on the inside. I love this thing. When I go to sleep, I like to have earbuds on. These are the Tribbit something earbuds. I've had these for like 7 years. They're super old by this point, but they work really well. They were like 30 bucks. They're a little heavy, but you need something to go to sleep. I don't think earplugs is enough. I listen to podcasts and stuff when I go to bed, and I really enjoy it. And that's an important part of the lumbar pack. You might think you have to make all these crazy decisions, but you can bring earbuds. I used to bring a Kindle. I have a drone. Like you can bring tons of stuff. You just have to think about how they all fit together. I also have a ultralight towel. I lost the carrying case for this forever ago, so I just kind of wad it up like this. This is the Sea to Summit Airlight Super Towel. This is a large. It's big enough to wrap around my waist, but it's still like, I can ball it up and put it in my hand, which you can't do with a lot of other towels. I love this towel. I completely recommend it. If you get anything from this list, I think the towel might be the easiest upgrade, and it's worth every penny. I've used it for years. It's an awesome upgrade. Another upgrade that I completely recommend is this dry bag. It's the Sea to Summit Ultralight 5-liter bag. Thing weighs nothing. I'm gonna weigh it on the scale. It weighs 34 grams. It's paper light. I use this to keep some of my more precious tech or documents safe and dry because the lumbar pack is not waterproof, but you can also use it as like a place to put all your clothes. You roll it down, squeeze out the air. It's a compression sack. I really recommend at least one dry bag. 5 liters seems to do well for my bag. You can go a little bit bigger without compromising the bag, but I think anything over 7 would be a little bit too big. So I also use a double seal plastic bag. So by that, I mean, it's got like 2 layers of, 2 layers of sealing so that you know that it's sealed. This is the perfect width for my bag. This is a 3-liter freezer bag. I've used this exact bag for like 3 Caminos. The beauty of this is that it's just wide enough for like my rolled up sleep sack, pants, shirts, anything like that. And then you basically almost seal it, push it really hard, seal it up, and you've got a DIY compression sack that costs no dollars. I like the Ultralight Sea to Summit dry bag. This is better. This serves a different function. I like to use this for documents and stuff, but I pair the 2 of them together. But you absolutely can go the whole thing with just a freezer bag. Try to get the double seal though, so that you know that it's sealed. On the outside of my bag, I use this Topo Designs taco bag for my first aid kit. So this is a Band-Aid roll. You can get this at any drugstore for like $1 or $2. Inside, I'll have extra earplugs. I've got some melatonin in here, ibuprofen, disinfecting, ointment packets, anything you need. You can fit scissors in here. I've sometimes put our pocket knife in here. Whatever you need for handling an emergency on the trail. You don't need much more than this. In my experience, I haven't needed more than this. If you have special needs, bring what you need to, but remember that you're not usually in the middle of nowhere. If something truly goes wrong, you just need to fix it to get to town. And then you can find a pharmacy, buy what you need. This has always served me really well, but yeah, bring something. I just clipped this to the outside of my bag so it's handy in case it's actually an emergency, and it does a great job. And it was a gift from my wife. Thanks, Lainey. I use it all the time, and I think of you keeping me safe. For electronics, like I said, I film on the phone that we're filming this on. We have a drone, we have microphones. Everything is USB-C, so I only need one thing to charge them all. This is the Anker IQ 30-watt fast charger European plug version. This is incredibly useful for every Camino. Not only is it super small and light, it is a fast charger. So it can really like charge your phone in a meaningful way in like half an hour, which if you've been in any kind of albergue, sometimes plugs are occupied by other people. Sometimes the power comes and goes. If you really want to keep a few devices charged, you need something that can charge it in like an hour. Get a European plug, these prongs, so you don't have to bring another adapter, and invest in a slightly longer cable. This is a 10-foot cable, not a 6-foot cable. That allows me to like reach like a table or my bed if I'm charging my phone or a drone. I don't have to like leave it propped up in a weird place on the floor. 10-foot cable, European charger. That's all you need, good to go. You don't need a battery pack. We brought a battery pack once, barely used it. I fill this little tube up with sunscreen, regular old UVA, UVB sunscreen lotion for my legs because I wear shorts. This usually lasts 2 weeks. You don't need a huge bottle, but the reason that works so well is for my face, I use All Goods mineral sunscreen butter. This is a little tin. I don't know, it's like almost like clay. We have the tinted version so we don't look like lunatics when we put it all over and try to film. But there's a white zinc sunscreen that you can use, which is just as effective. They're both zinc. Other sunscreens work. This is the best. Go with zinc. I've used this thing for 5 Caminos and it's still going. It's wild how long this lasts. It's lightweight, it's very effective, and it lasts forever. Another way I prevent blisters is with lamb's wool. It's literally wool from a lamb. You basically weave it between your toes, put on your silk sock liners, put on your socks. I haven't had a blister in a really long time. This is extra that I always bring, but this is what it looks like after the Camino. Ugh, gross. It ends up kind of just turning into like a weird lamb wool brass knuckle, which I get what these look like. I get it. It's not great, but I didn't get any blisters. It weighs nothing. It's super useful. Get yourself some lamb's wool and don't show anyone what it looks like when you're done with it. This is my toiletry bag. I bought this at the supermarket for $3. Came with a toothbrush, those little folding toothbrushes. And I use one of these little tubes of toothpaste. This lasts for several weeks. I don't know why people use so much toothpaste when they brush their teeth. I'm sure everyone in the comments will be like, oh no, he's gross. It just works for me, I don't know how. Got a bar of soap in here as well. That's it. You don't need anything else for the Camino. I don't hate the idea of bringing deodorant. I don't sweat a ton. Lainey, my wife, can attest to that. It's weird, and I shower every day. So I think for me, deodorant's overkill. But if you're someone who needs to use deodorant, you can get a little travel size one, fit that in there, no worries. And be a good pilgrim. Don't smell like crap. Hiking poles. These aren't in my bag, but I include them in every packing list. These are the clip lock style hiking poles. As you can see, I have 2 different hiking poles because one of them broke. I've had these for a really long time. These are both relatively cheap, 15 euros, something like that. The secret though is that I use Decathlon 4-clay hiking pole tips. Whatever rubber or future material this is made out of, we need to build like hospitals out of this stuff. I've taken this pair of tips on 4 Caminos. I would say 700 kilometers. And I can still see the grooves in them. This is what they look like when they're new. I don't know if you can see that. But they have not worn down very much. It's kind of wild. I'm bringing an extra pair of tips just in case, but I don't know why. Because these things last forever. I put them on anytime I'm on the road so I don't like rip up the road. That's just etiquette, hiking pole etiquette. Use hiking poles. They save your knees, they save your body, they save your heart, and you look cool doing it. I also bring our trusty Opinel knife. If you're not familiar, Opinel makes incredibly good knives. They're a French company. They've got a whole line of different knives. This is small enough to travel with on trains here in Spain. So if you want to buy a knife when you land or if you check your bag, I recommend it. We use this for making picnic sandwiches and cutting things. So if you're curious about my water situation, let's talk about it. This is my primary water bottle. This is from Water to Go. This is a filtered water bottle and its capacity is 25, like half of, what is this, 75? Its capacity is 700 milliliters, which isn't that much, but I've been using this for a long time. I like having a filter, not that I've ever had real issues. It's been very reliable. I like the click lock top. So I got a smart water bottle, aluminum one. It's super lightweight. Let's see how much this guy weighs. It might be the lightest thing in my whole bag. Nope. 49 grams. My sandals weigh less than an empty aluminum water bottle. I do like the wide mouth. Get yourself an aluminum water bottle instead of a plastic one. It's just a nice way to keep plastic out of your water. And then the last piece of gear, I don't really even think of it anymore though, because it magnets onto the back of my phone. This is our tripod that we shoot those really cool walking toward and walking away from camera videos. This is from Moft. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Basically, it's like a little stand for your phone. It can kind of collapse. You can use it as like a selfie stick if you want to use it like that. It's adjustable so you can get the right angle. It's not perfect, but it is small. It like fits onto the back of my phone, kind of like a little magnet wallet. It's always there when we need it for the shot. And that was really nice on this Camino. I think we're gonna go back to using a bigger tripod, but if you're just a casual videographer and you want to be able to shoot, you know, yourself walking into shot, I love this little tripod. It's perfect. Let's pack this thing. And this is what it looks like when everything's in here. Got first aid, cookie pouch. This is where you put snacks, drone, electronics, anything. Sunglasses, sunscreen. It's all right here, baby. Camino magic. Packing in a lightweight bag. It weighs 5.3 pounds, 2.25 kilos. Not bad. And that's everything that I packed for my Camino in a lumbar pack. This packing list has evolved over the years, but the core of it is still the same. I don't bring certain things. I have smaller versions of others. And I really rely on the gear that I'm wearing to do a lot of heavy lifting. So if you can find yourself a good pair of hiking clothes that you trust and you can slim down some of your essentials, I think a lumbar pack is a fantastic way to do the Camino. Just make sure you do it safe, bring enough food, bring enough water, make sure that you test it before you try hiking across Spain in a lumbar pack. But I think if it's for you, you're really gonna like what happens when you ditch the backpack, embrace the lumbar pack, and walk shoulder-free, head held high across Spain. Thank you so much for spending your day with me and looking at all the weird stuff I have in my bag. I'm really looking forward to reading the comments if you guys have more questions. I'd love some more suggestions. I'm sure there's a million pieces of gear that I'm missing that I could add to my bag or swap out. So get in there, let me know what you guys want to see next time I walk the Camino. And thank you again so much. I'll see you out there. Pilgrims, buen camino.